Good afternoon. Let us now consider the motion under gravity, and that too what we are discussing about is the straight line motion. Straight line motion. Straight line motion means basically we're discussing about vertical motion. That is motion under the gravity which is having a straight line path, that is, it is vertically falling down. So we are going to discuss about this one, right? Straight line motion, or we are going to discuss about the vertical motion. So let us consider some situations and try to derive a formula for the time which an object takes to reach the surface of the earth when it is left to have a free fall. So that's what we are going to discuss about. Let us take some scenario. This is the earth, right? Because this is the earth, and let us consider that this is the point origin, or we can say the point of reference. We are going to consider this, and this is the origin. So you always remember that when discussing about the motion under a straight line, especially vertical motion, we always keep the Cartesian coordinate as a reference, and we know that this axis represents the y-axis and this axis represents the x-axis. This side being positive and this side being positive, and this side being negative and this side being negative. That means on the left of the origin it is negative. Below the origin, on the values in the y-axis is going to be negative, and on this side it is going to be plus, and this side is going to be plus. So take this analog here, okay, and imagine that you are sending an object vertically upwards, the straight line, just sending an object. So you are projecting an object in a straight line, okay, vertically upwards in an upward direction, and we can say that v0, it is the velocity with which you are sending the v0 represents the velocity with which you are sending the object, okay, towards the atmosphere. That is, you are sending it up in upward direction, and v0 is the velocity with which you are sending it. So we represent v0 as the initial velocity. Some books write, they represent it as u, but I am using v0 to represent the initial velocity, and this is the earth. See, when an object is sent up with a particular initial velocity, it will experience another force. It will experience a downward force. That force is because of the attraction of the earth, okay, and that force leads to an acceleration which is called as acceleration due to gravity. The acceleration which is experienced by the object because of the attraction by the earth, okay, earth is going to pull it down. So because it is going to pull it down, it is going to accelerate downwards. This is called as acceleration due to gravity. That means what happens is that there will be continuously, the earth is going to pull down this particular object. So that means depending upon the strength of the initial velocity, it is going to go to a certain height, then it will stop, okay, and then it is going to come down, okay, because the object is continuously experiencing a force of attraction on it, and that force of attraction is because of the earth, and because of that the object is going to come down with certain acceleration. That acceleration is called as the acceleration due to gravity. So if you consider this as the initial position of the IP, represents the initial position. This was the initial position, and it reached a particular height, that is called as FP. FP represents the final position. So now we can write displacement. We can write displacement as what? The final position minus the final position minus the initial position. The final position minus the initial position. So this was the original position, the initial position, and this was the final position. So it is going to have a certain height. It is going to have a certain height. So just compare this with this particular diagram. So this represents the initial position. It was sent up, so that means it's a positive direction. Okay, a positive direction. So we say that whatever is the height which it has reached, so that we can represent it as plus h. Plus h means it is in the positive direction, right? Now this is the first scenario. We are going to consider one more scenario. Let us take another scenario. What is the scenario? Let us take. Okay. Now imagine that same situation with a little difference, that there is a building. There is a building. This is the earth. This is the earth on which the building is standing. Okay. And an object is projected upwards. So it is going to go up and then it is going to come down. So same scenario, but little difference is there. What is it that it is being sent up the same initial velocity. It is been sent up with initial velocity. Sent up with the initial velocity, right? Okay. It is going to reach certain height and then it is going to come down. Now this is the final position of the object. This is the final position of the object. This represents the initial position. Now you compare this with this diagram. So this represents the origin. So this is our axis of reference. This is our axis of reference. So O represents the same as the point origin. Okay. This is the students, they make a mistake. They consider this. They can consider this as the origin. No. This is the point. This is the initial position from where it has been sent up, right, with certain velocity. It is going to reach a particular height depending upon the strength of the initial velocity, and then it is going to come down. It is going to reach the earth. That represents the final position, and this represents the initial position. Now you have to be careful. Now the displacement. Okay, so what is the displacement? Displacement is equal to the final position minus the initial position. Now here, if you consider this particular as the analog or reference, see this is the origin and this also represents the origin. Now the object, this is the initial position and this represents the final position, same as somewhere at the bottom here. Okay, somewhere. So this is lying in the negative direction. It is lying in the negative direction. So that means whatever is the height of the building, this is a building. Okay, this is a building. So we have certain height, right? Okay, it is having certain height. Okay, it's having certain height. Now based on this particular Cartesian coordinate, see anything below this is considered to be negative. So this is the initial position and this is the final position minus initial position is nothing but the height of the building. So height of the building, whatever is right, but with a negative sign. With a negative sign. You just have to keep this as you have to keep this as the reference. You have to keep this as the reference, right? They take this diagram as a reference. So this is origin. Anything below the origin is considered in the vertical direction as a negative. So this is the origin, right? For this diagram, this is the origin from where the object is been sent up. So, and it is going to come down. So this was the initial position and this is the final position. So as per our formula for displacement, final position minus the initial position will give displacement. So that displacement, if you consider it is coming in the negative direction, it is coming in the negative part of the Cartesian coordinate. So that we take it, whatever is the magnitude of the height, that we take it with a negative sign, that is minus h. Okay, then we discussed one more important thing, that is we discussed about an object having a free fall, and we discussed this before, and I said that the velocity is going to be negative, and also the position, whatever position you are going to get, that is you are going to get with the negative value. This was in the previous video which we discussed in the previous video. See, if you take the value of y1, y2, y3, all these things will be in the with a negative sign. Even the velocity is also having a negative sign because it is below the origin. Okay, it is below the origin, right? So if you consider this scenario, if you're leaving an object, right, so the velocity will be having a negative sign, and also the height also is going to be having a negative value. Three scenarios we have considered now. The first scenario which we considered was that you are shooting an object with certain velocity, initial velocity upwards to, okay, and then it is going to, if you consider the this is the point from where it started, that is considered the initial position, and where it is going to stop, okay, that is considered as the final position. Then if you take the displacement is nothing but the difference between the final position minus initial position, and if you compare this with this situation, it is coming at the upper, this is the first quadrant of the Cartesian. So this is coming under this particular, this is the vertical axis, and you know that anything which lies in this point is considered to be as positive. So this h is going to be positive. Second scenario we consider is a building, right? This is the point from where it is going to be sent up. It is going to reach certain height, it is going to come down. So this is the initial position, final position. Take the difference nothing but the height of the building, but that with the negative sign. Now our next important aim is going to be for finding out the time it takes. Suppose if you what is the time it takes for an object to reach the earth. An object is left, okay, an object is left from a particular height. How much time does it take for it to reach the earth? Okay, let us say that, consider this diagram, right? This diagram, okay, this particular figure, that you are leaving an object from here, okay, it is going to travel down, okay, it is going to fall down, and that fall is because of the acceleration due to gravity. There is a force acting on the object when you leave it. That force is nothing but the force due to the gravitational force, and that gravitational force is going to pull the object down, and it is going to lead to certain acceleration. That acceleration we know is acceleration due to gravity, and after some time it is going to hit. So the object is experiencing an acceleration. So our objective will be to find out when it reaches an expression for finding out the time. So when it reaches the earth, what is the time duration does it take? How much time does it take for the object to reach this particular end? So this is the point. That is the one which we are going to discuss in a few minutes. Okay. Before that, let me give you some equations for motion in a straight line. We know that the first equation, v represents the final velocity. This can be calculated by using v naught. V naught represents the initial velocity, and then at represents the acceleration of the object, and t represents the time. So if you know the initial velocity of the object, and you know the acceleration, and you know the time, you can calculate the final velocity. Now this, if you consider from the point of view of a free fall, if an object is falling freely, then you replace this with the gt. The acceleration is replaced with the g, with the negative sign, because you know that when a freely falling object, it is going to experience an acceleration due to gravity, okay, and that is nothing but the downward, the fall is towards downward direction, okay, the fall is towards the downward direction. So that we put it with a negative sign, that is minus gt. Then we have learned one more expression for the finding out the position of an object. Y is equal to y naught plus v naught t plus half a t square. This is for the x coordinate, and same way we have, if you want to find out the position of an object with respect to the x coordinate, we have v naught t plus half a t square. Okay, actually I have to put it in the small y here and here x. So this represents the initial velocity in the x direction, and this represents the initial velocity in the this represents the initial velocity in the y direction, and v naught x represents the initial velocity in the x direction. So these are the two expressions are there. I will just consider only one expression, and I will write down this like this: y minus y naught is equal to v naught t plus half a t square. Here also I have to put with small y, and here I have to put it as x. Okay, but I'm just for the purpose of notation, okay, to specifically say that this is the position of the object in the x direction, and this is the y direction. So this is in y direction, and this is in x direction. Okay, not worry about that. So this represents the y minus y naught represents, this is the final position and this is the initial position. So this represents nothing but the displacement. So displacement we can write it as s. S represents displacement. So this is nothing but v naught t plus half a t square. So this, if you are considering the motion under the gravitational force, right? Vertical motion, straight line motion, okay, vertically falling down, then this expression is going to become s is equal to v naught t minus half g t square. So s is equal to v naught t minus half gt square. This is the formula which you are going to use for calculating the displacement of an object when it is falling under the effect of gravity. Same way we have one more expression. We have one more expression for straight line. On the straight line we have one more expression is there that we write down here. So that what is that expression? Equation v square is equal to v naught square plus 2as. V naught square represents the initial velocity. It represents the initial velocity, like same like here also. Here v naught represents the initial velocity. Here also v naught represents the initial velocity. So here this is an expression which relates final velocity with initial velocity and also acceleration, and s represents the displacement. Now if an object under the effect of gravity, then we write this as v square is equal to v naught square minus 2gs. A is replaced by minus g. A is replaced by minus g. So we have now three formulas. Let me write down the three formulas. What are the formulas we have? V is equal to v naught minus gt, the first one. Second one is s is equal to v naught t plus this is not plus, it is minus half g t square. Okay, be very careful. Okay, under the effect of gravity, it is not plus here, it is going to be minus, and then we have v square is equal to v naught square minus 2gs. So first equation, second equation and third equation, these three equations we are going to use whenever an object is experiencing a vertical motion, especially free fall under the effect of gravity. Let us derive an expression. Let us derive an expression for an object which is falling freely. Okay, and how much time does it take for it to reach the earth? So the same scenario we have considered earlier, a diagram, this diagram, if you remember. Okay, an object is been left. It is going to experience a force, and that force is because of the gravity, and because of that it is going to accelerate down towards the center of the earth. And how much time does it take to reach the earth? How much time does it take to reach? So when you leave an object here to reach the earth, that means to come down to the bottom. Okay, how much time does it take? Okay, let me just represent it in a small diagram so that we are able to understand. So we have an object. Okay, it is left from here. So it is going to travel certain distance, or this represents the initial position of the object. Somewhere this is the initial position, and this is the earth. And this is the final position. It is going to touch here, so that is the final position, fp. So we know that displacement is nothing but the final position minus the initial position. Now if you take the reference of the Cartesian coordinates, right? Okay, so if you take the reference, and this is coming under the negative part of the y-axis. So whatever is the displacement, okay, is nothing but the height of the building. Okay, I had shown the previous figure, and whatever is the height of the building, that needs to be considered. That will nothing but the displacement. So the displacement, an equation which relates displacement with the initial velocity and the acceleration, this is the formula. This is a formula which is going to relate displacement with initial velocity and acceleration, right? And there's also a time is also involved. So here we know that this s is nothing but the height, and specifically it is not just h, it is going to be minus h. Remember always this direction, it is falling down. If you take this as the point, okay, this is our reference point, okay, this is the point O. So if it is going to fall down, so take this into consideration, okay, this side into consideration. So anything in this direction, it is going to be negative. So that's why it is minus h. This is equal to what will be the initial velocity? The velocity is 0 because you are just holding the object like this and you are just leaving it. You're holding the object and you are going to leave it. It is going to fall down. So that initially the velocity is going to be equal to 0. It is going to be equal to 0 minus half g t square. T represents the time. So here if you simplify this, minus h is equal to minus half g t square. This minus cancel. Then if you cross multiply 2 into h, it will be equal to 2h g t square, or we can write t square is equal to 2h by g, or we can write t is equal to root of 2h by g. That means if you substitute, if you want to find out how much time does the object take to reach the earth, okay, how much time does the object to reach the earth, you just have to substitute the value. What is the value? The height of the building. Whatever is the height of the building, that you have to substitute into the formula. And g, you know, it is 9.8 meters per second square. That you have to put. Then you can easily find out how much time does it take for the object to reach the earth if it is left from the top. So we have some more equations to consider under the free fall. So that we will be taking up in the next sessions.